Hello board gamers, I'm Josh.
And I'm Mike.
And we're with Dark Goblin Gaming, and we're here today to talk about The Duke from Catalyst Games Lab. It's an abstract strategy game. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so in The Duke, both players will start with an identical set of wooden tiles in their bag. There's the light tiles and the darker tiles. At the beginning of the game, the light tile player will set up their Duke in any one of the middle two spaces, and then a footman will go on two adjacent sides to it. They could be in any kind of configuration that allows for that. And then the dark tiled player, will set up in the same manner. On your turn, you can either move a piece, or you can take a tile from your bag and place it orthogonally adjacent to your Duke in the empty spots. The thing that makes the Duke unique is when a piece moves, it flips the tile to the reverse side, which gives it different movement characteristics. So this piece, it can move in any one of the orthogonal adjacent directions, but when it flips, it can move to the diagonally adjacent plus the space, two spots in front of it. And that adds a lot of complications to the game because every piece is like that. They have a different movement set on the flip. When you pull a tile out of your bag, it needs to be on the blacked out pawn side. As you can see, that one has it. When it flips, that's the flip side, and that's, again, the starting side. And the object of the game is to capture the opponent's Duke, so it's kind of chess-like in that way. It has the same objective. Now the rules of the Duke may be simple, but a lot of the complications of the game comes from the individual movement capabilities of the tiles. For example, let's go over some of the tiles. The priest here, this black triangle on it means he could slide any amount in that direction, so all the diagonal directions. So you could slide like that, you get the idea. But when he moves, he'll flip to this side. And the black in circle just means he can move to that space. The hollow circle means he could jump to that space. So if there's an intervening piece, he could jump over it to get the piece in that space. The Longbowmen here has nothing new on that side. He could just move to those spaces. But when he moves, he'll flip to this space and he gets this new symbol called the strike, which means he could capture those spaces, but he doesn't actually move to those spaces when he does so. And the general, his starting side, again, has nothing new. He's got jumps and regular moves. But when he moves, he has this new symbol called a command. It has these little hash is on the corners. That means he could pick up another piece in that space and move him to any other one of his command spaces. And just to give you an idea of some of the other pieces in the game, because there's about 15 unique different pieces. We have the wizard here, is one of the, if not the most powerful piece in the game. He can move all around, and when he moves, he flips, and then he could jump great distances across the board. We have the pikeman here, who sometimes could cause some comedic situations in the game, who could only move diagonally forward, and then when he flips, he's got some strikes. And then he's got movement, a little movement forward and some movement back. And then the piece everyone's trying to capture here is the Duke, and he could slide any amount this way when he starts, but when he moves, he could slide any amount the other direction. And that's just some of the pieces that are in the game.
So now that you guys have seen a little bit of how the game works and the functionality of the pieces and the different things inside of it, we're just going to kind of give our opinions of how we thought the game was. Now, me, I've done a lot of chess in my day. I mean, I used to play with my grandparents, everybody, and the game had some similarities, but is still a bit different. It's definitely got a lot of change, though. I mean, the board's different. The pieces are different. It gives you a lot of variety, and you have the ability to summon troops, which we found was kind of, it started picking up to where it's like, it gets pretty tough sometimes to actually close the deal and put someone in checkmate because of the ability to resummon.
That plus the Duke has really high mobility, so he could give you the slip pretty good. So the games could drag on for quite a while when it seemed like one guy had a really good upper hand. The Duke just managed to get away for the next 15 minutes, and it made it tricky to close out the deal.
Yeah, it did. I mean, our first few games, I mean, some of them would run 15 minutes, some of them would run 45 to an hour. So we really didn't know what to expect most of the time. I imagine if you play it more, you may be able to get those down to a 30-minute game or things like that, but it can go up to an hour sometimes. So, but overall, I mean, I enjoyed the game. I thought it was a pretty good game overall, a good variant of similarity to chess, but not completely same or same at all for the most part.
Cool. When I first started playing this game, I was a huge fan of it. I thought the whole idea of flipping the tiles was just great, and had a lot of twists and interest to it. But the more I played it, it brought my opinion of the game down. I still like it, but not near as much as I did when I first played it. I have fun when I play, but sometimes, like we said, the games could drag on when some guys got a good advantage, and you still fight for the win, but it's not really going your way, and it could go on that way for quite a while. There's still some interesting play that could happen, but it does have a lot of the chess that I don't like of being able to memorizing things, like just being able to see all the pieces on the board and knowing all the lines they cover. But in this one, it's harder to have it all memorized because the flip of the piece moves differently. So you not only have to see where the piece can move right now, but then if it moves to this point, how does it move from that point? What shakes it up for me the most and makes me enjoy it more is the variance of the draw from the bag. That gives you something that you can't plan for. I mean, I like being able to plan, but I need a little bit of randomness thrown into the game, so you can't have these memorized openings and just memorized moves that I don't really enjoy at all in gaming. But overall, I like the game. I enjoy it when I play it, but just not as much as I did when I first picked it up. And anything else to say, or?
Yeah, so all in all, I mean, it is a good game. It's definitely recommend it.
If you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing.
If you're into abstract strategy games.
Yeah. And again, my name is Mike.
And this is Josh. Thanks for watching our first pancake video from Dark Goblin Gaming.